Welcome back, my dear boys and girls. Let's continue with chapter 6, World After 1945. Hope you have a nice vacation. Now it's high time to start our lessons. Before vacation, we had completed two topics. That was about United Nations Charter and Cold War, and also we have discussed about the world distributed among army group. I hope you remember all these things: NATO, SEATO, CENTO, Warsaw Pact, and everything we have discussed. So there I have told you about how United States of America and Union of Soviet Socialist Russia, how they have divided the world into two. Now, the next topic which we are going to start is non-aligned movement. Let's begin from page number 41, third heading, non-aligned movement. So, I hope you remember the previous section. After Second World War, the world was divided into two groups, power bloc and military bloc. And after that, another third group was there that I told you last year also. Many countries joined power bloc, that is those who were supporting democracy, and another group supported military blocs under the leadership of Russia, those who were following Russia's policies. And there was another group was there, those who did not join the power bloc or military bloc, and that group is known as non-aligned group and the policy which they formed was non-aligned policy. Now let's go through that section. Page number 41, third paragraph, non-aligned movement. Some new nations adopted the policy of not to align with any of the two superpower blocs and military blocs. They decided that they would remain equal distance with both the blocs. These nations were identified as non-aligned nations, and the policy which they followed was called a non-aligned policy. So they have kept a distance with both the groups. Non-aligned policy they have followed. Those neutral nations that did not want to adopt the ideologies of either of the two superpowers of the world wished to have an all-round development maintaining its unique existence. So, see, those nations, those who have not having any relations, those who maintain a distance between both the nations, that is power bloc and military bloc, that group which we are talking, that group is known as non-aligned nations, and they wished to have an all-round development because, as you know, all these countries, they were either under the control of any of the world powers, previous world, like America or Britain, Japan and all. So they wanted an all-round development maintaining its unique existence. So these countries, those who maintained a distance between both these countries, both these leaders, they formed a new organization. They formed a movement called non-aligned movement, and this idea came in the mind of India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Not only that, he gave the idea and many leaders supported him. As you know, he got support from Indonesia's first president Sukarno, Egypt's second president Gamal Abdul Nasser, Ghana's first president Kwame Nkrumah, and Yugoslavia's president Josip Broz Tito. They all gave a support to Jawaharlal Nehru, and thus they formed the non-aligned movement. In this movement, Council of 23 countries of Asia and 6 countries of Africa were present. So, in the beginning, non-alignment movement got support from 23 countries from Asia and 6 countries from Africa. This organization was founded in Belgrade, that is Cape of Serbia, in 1961 and known as NAM, that is Non-Aligned Movement. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, the policies of non-alignment were framed. See, the working and everything they have framed. NAM completed valuable leadership. Nehru believed that movement continues to see a role of itself, as in its view, the world's poorest nations remain exploited and marginalized. What do you mean by marginalized? Treating as insignificant. No longer by opposing superpowers, but rather in a unipolar world, and it is Western hegemony and neo-colonialism that the movement has really realigned itself again. So I know the sentence is a bit complicated for you. I am explaining it. Listen to it. See, Nehru had given how the total idea was given by Jawaharlal Nehru. He told the world, the other non-aligned movement, the nations who supported non-aligned movement, he told these people that, see, the world's poorest nations remain exploited and marginalized. Who is more exploiting, or who was exploiting the world's poorest nations? Poorest nations like India and Africa, Sri Lanka, this type of Asian countries and African countries को कौन exploit किया था? World powers पहले, अभी नहीं, पहले वो लोग ने exploit किया था. You know, Britishers, they were having the colony. Many Asian countries and African countries were their colony, like Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Indonesia, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, South Africa, Egypt, Abyssinia. These all countries were under the control of Europeans. So, they remained exploited and marginalized. Marginalized means treating as insignificant nations. So, these people, they are not longing by opposing superpowers, but rather in a unipolar world and in its Western hegemony leadership. देखो, हम लोग उनको oppose नहीं कर रहे, superpowers को non-aligned nations oppose नहीं कर रहे, but we are accepting their leadership. And no neo-colonialism. What do you mean neo-colonialism? Pressure to control other countries. That the movement has really realigned itself again. It opposes foreign occupation, interference in internal affairs, and aggressive unilateral measures. But it also has shifted to focus on the socio-economic challenges facing member states, especially the inequalities manifested by globalization and the implications of neoliberal policies. See how what these nations, that non-aligned nations, what they have done, that they are not going to oppose this Western hegemony, Western leadership के against opposing कुछ नहीं कर रहे, but they will oppose foreign occupation, foreign attack. This non-aligned countries, they are going to oppose foreign attack, foreign interference in the internal affairs. For example, India like countries, उनका internal affairs में interfere करने के लिए वर्ल्ड पावर्स को मना कर सकता है. दे आर गोइंग टू नॉट कर सकता है, दे आर गोइंग टू से नो. एंड aggressive unilateral measures, aggressive one-sided measures, that is, I told you in the armament disarmament sector that you have seen India and other countries, they have opposed, they were against the decision of America, Soviet Union, Britain, etc. because they can manufacture nuclear product. At the same time, they are telling countries like India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan and all not to make weapons. वो कैसा है? मुझे सब कुछ कर सकता है एज ए टीचर और एज द लीडर ऑफ द क्लास आई कैन डू ऑल द थिंग्स, और आप लोग को नहीं कर सकता है, वो आप लोग टॉलरेट कर पाएगा. दिस इज व्हाट Nehru told. So one-sided measures we are not going to tolerate, but it has also shifted to focus on the socio-economic challenges facing member states. देखो हमारा जैसा ही member states का कुछ भी economic problems, social problems, that all we are ready to help each other, especially the inequalities manifested by globalization and the implications of neoliberal policies. कौन सा आइटम्स में हेल्प कर सकता है, स्पेशली इन इनइक्वालिटीज मैनिफेस्टेड मीन्स शोड बाय ग्लोबलाइजेशन and implications means conclusions of neoliberal policies. New policies which they are introducing, they are going to oppose the one-sided action of the world powers. The non-aligned movement has identified economic underdevelopment, poverty and social injustices as growing threats to the peace and security. See, at the same time they have identified हमारे problems क्या है, economic underdevelopment, poverty, social injustice, etc. So they were ready to solve, or they were ready to find out a solution to solve how all these problems. Okay. Today, more and more countries have joined the non-alignment movement. Union Summit has held at Kuala Lumpur on 17th May 2003. For the last 4 decades, previous 40 years, 40 abhi 50 ho gaya, many incidents have happened. With the disintegration of Soviet Union and Russia's power decrease, that we will discuss in the next section. Disintegration of Soviet Union. You know what happened to Soviet Union? Soviet Union was a very big country. USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR. तो उनका वो पूरा उसका बहुत सारा कॉलोनीज था. इट वॉज अ ग्रुप ऑफ मेनी कंट्रीज. ओके, यूएसएसआर, इट वॉज स्टेट्स. फिर वो वहाँ से सेपरेट हो गया, बहुत सारा कंट्रीज वहाँ से वो ग्रुप में से. फॉर एग्जांपल इंडिया जैसा ही, इंडिया से बहुत बड़ा है रशिया, एज यू नो, यूनियन ऑफ सोवियत सोशलिस्ट रिपब्लिक. सो उनका वहाँ से हम एक स्टेट निकल गया और हम खुद का एक राष्ट्र बनाया, जैसा ही हो गया. तो that we will discuss in the next section. Finally, when उनका disintegration हो गया, that is separation of USSR एक बार हो गया, तो रशिया का पावर चला गया. फिर सिंगल पावर है, वो कौन है? अमेरिका. अमेरिका emerged as a super power. Imperial policy decreased to minimum in other countries. In this situation, non-aligned movement played a dominant role. So, when now America was, after the disintegration of Soviet Union, that you will see in the year 1989, I think 1980, yes, 1989, Soviet Union 1989 में शुरू हो गया और Soviet Union began to disintegrate by 1990. हाँ, 1991 के आसपास, वो एग्जैक्टली आई फॉरगॉट द टाइम. सो सोवियत यूनियन एक बार उसका डिसइंटेग्रेशन हो गया, तब अमेरिका बिकेम द सुपर पावर. अमेरिका सबका हेड बन गया. और इन सच ए सिचुएशन non-aligned movement played a dominant role, an important role. See, in this clip you can see the countries which accepted non-aligned movement. Countries which accepted non-aligned movement, that is given in dark blue color. नाम non-alignment movement का logo उधर दिया है, और डार्क ब्लू में जो है वो नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट फॉलो करने वाला कंट्रीज़, और अदर कंट्रीज़ दैट इज़ ऑब्जर्वर कंट्रीज़. सो दैट यू विल बी एबल टू सी हियर in that world map. Non-aligned nations with their non-aligned policy were successful in contributing towards world politics. The non-aligned movement was successful in showing off its moral impact for maintaining world peace, stopping wars, maintaining human society and nationalism, as well as superpowers adopting an attitude of disarmament. See, non-alignment countries played a very important role in front of the world powers that हमको भी कुछ कर सकता है. We are also part of this. So this last line you can consider as what was the role played by non-aligned movement in making or which introduce for impacting or imparting the world peace, stopping war, etc. These are okay. I hope you got this thing. The next topic is very big for you today for this lecture, so that we will do in the next class. I hope you understood this section. The section you will get one question, and that question is very, because this portion is having weightage, so you will be able to see you have to go through this section very clearly. The rest section tomorrow we will discuss with the partition and unification of Germany and disintegration of Soviet Union. Now let's go through today's worksheet. For that, please come to page number 45 of our textbook, section 1, question number non-alignment, that is question number 2. By mistake मैंने question number 1 लिखा है, वो correction करना है. Explain the meaning of the policy of non-alignment. See that I have written there, you can copy that answer. Meaning of policy of non-alignment. Now next is short notes. See, same section 1, short note. I hope you remember in the previous class I told you short note. If you are able to do it by yourself, you can write, otherwise I have given there. First one is military bloc. Military bloc. Answer I have written there about military bloc. You can learn and copy down into your notebook. Question is NATO, NATO, NATO. In 1949, inspired by America, the Western democratic countries around the North Atlantic Ocean established a military organization called the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. All the things are from textbook. Next one is C2, that is also given there. Next is CENTO, and last one is CENTO is not there in the textbook, but I have given to you for your studies. By chance any questions are coming, you can write it. Warsaw Pact, that was the organization made by Russia, Soviet Union, as the military organization for the communist countries, and that is known as Warsaw Pact or Warsaw Treaty. Both the names are there for Warsaw Pact or Warsaw Treaty. Next question, section 2. Answer the following questions in brief. Question number 2. What were Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's thought on the policy of non-alignment? For that, you come to the textbook. You can directly copy down the answers. For that, page number 41. Page number 41, under the heading non-alignment movement. Second paragraph, that big paragraph. There, second paragraph, that big paragraph, there at the middle, line number 8. At line number 8, बीच में Nehru believed that. आपने देखा? Nehru believed that movement continues to see a role for itself. वहाँ से शुरू करो और वो paragraph का end तक. Okay. Answer number 2. Section 2. Okay. Now, Question 3 already we have written in the previous section, so I am not going to that. Now, next one, short note on, write short notes. Question number 1, armament and disarmament. That I have divided into 2. Armament, that I have given there, all the points I have pointed out there. You can copy down that answer and learn it. Next one is disarmament. Same way that answer is typed there, you can copy it and learn it. Moving to the last question, give reason. Give reason there. Please come to page number 46, question number 1. Establishment of the United Nations is the starting point of a new world. That answer I have given there, that is after Second World War, large scale unemployment, epidemics, crores of death, etc. ruined the world economy and shook the world. Countries of the world finally realized a serious need to establish a world organization which maintained peace and harmony in the world. Owing to this, United Nations organization was established on 24th October 1945. And second question already we have discussed in the previous lecture, Cuban crisis. So I hope you got all the answers. Okay. Now we will continue in the next class. Till then, stay safe. Don't go outside. Don't mingle with other people. Take your own safety. So be healthy. Enjoy the days. Study well. Bye. Take care.